Alright everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So as promised, we're getting through some more Shonen Jump stuff today. I am going to get around to some more, or at least some of the chapters of Akane Banashi today, just because that series has built up the biggest backlog since I've been on my little hiatus here. So I don't want it getting too much bigger than it is, so I figure I'll get through some of it this weekend, then we'll get through the remainder next weekend when I get back to reviewing Shonen Jump stuff regularly. But yeah, apart from that, Spy Family, Kaiju Go Kurakugai chapters should all be out on the channel by now. So if you haven't already, please do check them out and give them some love. Apart from that, a lot of good content going to be coming your way the next little while. So if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I've also mentioned a couple of my other videos, I am using new recording software, as well as, debuting a new angle. I don't know if you noticed that or not. But if you notice any issues with the videos, any video lagging, sound lagging, things like that, please do let me know so I can kind of make fixes in the background if necessary. But apart from that, do let me know if you like the changes, if you want me to revert anything, stuff like that. But without further ado, let us get into it with Akane Banashi Story 118, I'm Counting on You. With translation by Stephen Paul, lettering by Sneer Aaron, and story by Yuki Tsunaga, art by Takamasa Moe, with Rakugo supervision by Keiki Hayashiya. And you see in the monthly Rakugo room, which is the newspaper reporters thing, Kashio's thing, you have, I'm sorry for asking the impossible, in the archive room. You have, not at all. For you, Rokuro, it's my pleasure. So what's the occasion? Why did you want to pour through our old materials? And he goes, Mr. Kashio, are you familiar with this? And you have Kakugo N. How old is this? 1968, holy shit. Yeah, so you have Ensho Sanmete, which is Snake Bro's name? For the life of me, I don't know why I can never remember what his name is. Give me a second here. Karashi, the guy that Karashi's apprenticing on, who's got like this little big afro dude going. He's like, that's a very old magazine. He's like, Shiguma. Based on this year, this has to be the previous Shiguma Arakawa. And you have Shiguma School Event, and you have Shiguma, there's no title for the story. Kisoba, the Backward Rickshaw, and Rokuen Sango Jigo. And Kashi was looking at it being like, there's no Rakugo story listed. They forget to mark it down? And Rokuro was like, no, it was a story without a name. The previous Shiguma performed this story on stage, but it was unfinished. He refused to give it a name. It was tentatively known as Shiguma or Shiguma's Art. So it was a brand new Rakugo story? And Rokuro was like, if you're curious to know more, could I ask for your help? It's top secret. He's like, believe it or not, I'm known for my discretion. He's like, the basis for Shiguma's Art is a story that's been passed down within Kashiwaya for generations. He's like, Kashiwaya has a secret story? It's like, it doesn't sound familiar, does it? That's because only a small number of people in Kashiwaya even know about it. It's no longer passed down because of Kiroku Kashiwaya, the previous Shiguma. I suspect that the founding of the Arakawa school and the feud between Master Isho and Master Shiguma all stems from Shiguma's art. God. I was like, let's say all of that is true. Why are you chasing the story, Rokuro? You're not the type to snoop and gossip, are you? It's like, I want to take it back. That story belongs to Kashiwaya. And you see a little flashback to baby Akane, who's sucking on a popsicle. And she walks by Shiguma's room. He's like, his arms crossed, like deep in contemplation. And she goes, he's sitting quietly by himself, looking pensive. But I can tell he's practicing. I know because my dad did the same thing. And you have hey, what are you practicing just sitting there like that? And you see Shiguma looking up in surprise, going, it's nothing to do with you. It's like, what? It's a secret? No fair, no fair, no fair. Oh no, she goes, no fair, no fairy fair. It's like, fine. It's like, little scamp. It's just like musses her hair. It's like, if you want to know what it is, I'll tell you once you're a full-fledged artist, Akane. And you see a kabam! As she's waked up out of this reprieve as the train she's on comes to a stop. It's like, yikes, I fell asleep. And you have next stop, Asakusa. It's like, that was a close one. It's like, it's been nearly 4 months since Maikoru Ani-san's Shinichi promotion test. And I'm like, ooh, this is awesome! She's going getting fitted out for a new robe. And she's like, preparing for my Futatsume advancement. And you have Shiguma going, she's getting carried away. It's like, what do you think, Master? Or should I go for yellow? He's like, Akane, your Futatsume promotion is slated for October. It's like, so it takes like half a year for the promotion to actually happen once it's been decided? It's like, get your head in gear. You're not just waiting around. This is where things actually get hard. First, you need a black crested kimono. You'll need a new Haori jacket and hakama emblazoned with a crest. It's like the ones we wore at the debut event, you see like as Chocho and the others like all Chocho Taizen and what the hell was Big Bro's name? Give me a second here. Sorry, it's been so long since I've done this. Asakawa are all just like posing with like their ones. And they have like the crest of the Arakawa school. It's like you also need a colored crested kimono. As Futatsume, you'll be allowed to wear kimono, Haori, and hakama with our crest on it. That means more options. It's like personalized hand towels. Hand towels are the Rakugoka's business card. As a Futatsume, you're allowed to have your own towels made. You see Akane with like this baby little cat design with Tanuki on it. It was like, I like this design. It's like choosing your entrance music. As a Futatsume, you have the right to select what song plays as you come on stage. It's like, no, this song. It's like, no. You also need gifts to give everyone when you announce your promotion. And then and don't forget, you see him like running all around town. And you see the coffee shop Renga. She's like, I'm so tired. It's like, I warned you. This is where it gets hard. You'll have even more to do for a Shinichi promotion. You see Micro just splayed out with Micro's corpse. It's like, yikes. It's like, but it's a good tired. Like when I was moving on to middle school or high school, there's an anticipation there, like something new is starting. Plus, it's been a really long time since we walked around together. It's like, well, we don't want to cause any silly misunderstandings. It thinks back to Gurik only spying on the early chapters. It's like, oh right, I remember when that happened. It's like, oh, Master's with a teenage girl? It's like, do you remember this place? We came here years ago. He's like, did we? It's like, yes, remember the Neapolitan pasta? It's like, oh, it's like they piled it up in an enormous heap on your plate. It's like, that's right, I was just remembering that. Oh, this is that place. He's like, and now that little squirt is already Futatsume. He's like, you're a full-fledged artist. It's like, Master, I have something to ask you. Can you teach me a Ninja Banashi? It's like, unlike a Zenza who needs to learn the breadth of Zenza Banashi, a Futatsume needs to learn height. It's the period where you tackle harder and harder stories on your way to becoming a Shinichi. It's like, when I look at my current position and compare, I know that I can't produce the same depth as Maikaru Onisan. Maybe it's not possible just yet, but I'd like to learn one story for now to serve as a goalpost, so that I can tell myself someday I'll be a Rakugoka worthy of this. And she thinks back to Maikaru telling her, once you're a Futatsume, I'll need the judgment to consider my own style of expression and pick stories that are suited to me. It's like Maikaru that told her that or someone else. It's like, I have to be able to do this because I'm an apprentice of Shiguma Arakawa. He's like, I see. And as he slurps on his coffee, he's like, do you remember years ago when you asked me about something I was practicing? You were very curious about it. I'd be willing to teach you that story. But in exchange, I have a solo event next month and I'm counting on you to be the opener. And she just like gets all excited. He's like, Master's event? He's never asked me to go on before him. She's like, of course, I humbly accept this honor. So I guess quick thoughts on this chapter. It's nice to see Rokuro kind of back in the front because I don't think we've actually seen him perform a story, have we? Like, I think we've seen reactions to it. I don't think we've actually seen what his kind of style and like his storytelling thing is yet, right? So I'm hoping that's what we're being set up for, like trying to see like one of Rokuro's performances and kind of like what his whole thing is. So I'm very curious about that. Apart from that, I'm very like the whole like, oh, this is a story without a name thing has me very, very curious and excited because this feels like this is what Akane's eventually going to aim for. Is not, I don't think like doing like Shiguma or Shiguma's art, but doing like her own art style or doing something like that surpasses it. And I think that's going to be like her aim to be like, this is how I'm going to like prove to Isho that my father's storytelling was. I wonder if she's actually going to call it like Shinta's art or Shinta's style or something like that. But I feel like that's what she's going to aim for, is like, I'm going to create this art style to kind of showcase and prove that, my father's art was worth, and you shouldn't have been like so quick to like judge him and kick him out of the group. So I'm very curious as to what is going on with this and like Rokuro's whole interest in this. But yeah, like the whole like a little bit of feuding between the two like rival schools and everything is also interesting. I have to go back and also look at the whole like Shiguma title being passed on. I have to go look like revisit the history and stuff of that. But yeah, as far as like hooks go for the next arc, this is a very interesting and compelling one. So I'm very curious as to where it's going to be going from here. So like I said at the beginning, a lot of Shonen Jump stuff dropped today. I'm going to try to get through at least a chunk of the Akane Banashi stuff, and I'll probably finish off the rest of it next week, so look forward to that. As always, if you enjoy these videos, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.